Good morning. Our hand today is going to be Ace 10 of clubs. So in this hand, early position player open raises to 2.5 big blinds, and then it folds around to me. So this player is playing 16-14 right now overall. Early position raise first in 16%. He does not limp. Doesn't limp in any position. So I think this early position player, 16% is probably going to be an appropriate percentage. I'm going to say this is 16%. This is 16.4%. All the pocket pairs, suited aces, you got suited broadways, suited connectors down to about 7-6. You got jack. I'm going to throw in jack 9 here, ace jack offsuit or better, king queen offsuit. I think that's suitable raise. We can say his 3-bet range, you could see is decent. His fold to 3-bet stats 55%. So I think in terms of me 3-betting this, I think if he he's going to be folding quite a few hands, but if he calls, he's going to be probably calling with the strong hand. So I'm going to probably say most of the pocket pairs he'll call. He'll call his suited, like ace queen or better, probably maybe even ace jack or better, probably king queen queen jack. I think he'll fold like king jack, king 10, queen 10, jack 9, maybe the suited connectors. The problem I see is I'll be out of position. It'll be hard to play. But I think with ace 10, we've got, especially with suited ace 10, we've got an idea that if we call here, he's going to be c-betting. Any ace he'll probably c-bet because that's going to hit his range as well. I think even with a 10 high, a 10 high flop where we hit top pair would also be a bet here. So I think a call. When we look at our range here, it could be a 3-bet or call range. This is it versus early position. So you can see I could have 3-bet, I could call. I think here I just went ahead with a call to see what happens. So flop comes down, ace queen 7. And I think we just go ahead and check to him. 100% of our range. We expect villain 3 to be c-betting a decent percentage of the time. This is a board that's going to hit him. So if we look at ranges, I think top pair is going to be betting. Kings probably check behind. They bet. Middle pair bets. Pocket pair less than the second card probably bets too. Bottom pair probably. Don't think these lower pairs are going to bet. They could. We'll include our gut shots. I mean, that's 93%. This is just a board that he should smash. And if you think about my calling range, I don't think I'm going to hit it that hard. So I kind of expect villain 3 to go ahead and be betting and expect me to call a decent percent, especially with ace. So we're going to say 93% he bets, little more than half pot. Now, what do we do? I think we're going to raise sets in 2 pairs. I think also we would be raising maybe our good gut shots along with that. Difficulty I have is that there's no obvious flush out there. So if we were going to raise, one of the things we could do is kind of raise not all of our gut shots, but the gut shots that also have the 2-card backdoor flush draws. So let's do this. 2-card backdoor flush draw. So we're looking at like king jack, king 10, jack 10, king jack. So if we look at our combos at that point, we're looking at about 12 combos of value, 10 combos for the 2-card backdoor flush draw. It's probably a few more, maybe a few more value than what we should have. But I think that's going to be our raising range. That leaves our calling range, which I think top pair is going to be calling. I think our middle pair is going to be calling. I think pocket pair, less than the second card, probably just going to be folding these. No real reason to continue with them. What about gut shots? I do think we can continue with the gut shots, and I think our gut shots are going to be we would continue with all of our gut shots, and then also some of our 2-card backdoor flush draws that might not necessarily have the gut shots, but could allow us to pick up some just kind of as a pure bluff. So if we don't believe the villain connected with the sport, we kind of expect villain, if he's betting a 7, to then check behind on the turn, and then that allows us to bet on the river and maybe get a fold. So we want hands like, let's say, Jack 9, I think Jack 10. We already have like King Jack and King 10 on there. We're going to have obviously all of our aces. I think that's probably what we're looking at right now. So I do call. Turns a 6 of diamonds. Now the expectation is if we check to him and he bets, he has definitely an ace and maybe possibly also a queen. So I'm not saying 2 pair, but he has at least queens plus. I don't expect like jacks or 10s or 9s to continue here. I expect them to check back. I even expect some of the aces to check back as well, or at least they should. And I think this is a player that's probably, a somewhat thinking player. He's going to recognize that if I called, I'm kind of have a lot of aces in my range at this point. So if he bets here, and he actually bets fairly large. I think when he's betting large, he's representing at least a set or 2 pair. If it's a set, he's just looking to build a pot, go for big value, because it's going to be hard for me to fold an ace. He might not do this with all of his aces. He might have like ace 8, ace 9, ace 10. It's kind of like showdown value hand. And then use like ace 2 to 5 as bluffs to try to get me to fold my like ace 8, ace 9. I think kings are just going to check, and I'm going to say queens are probably also just going to check behind too, because what I have really called with a gut shot. If I did call with a gut shot, it's a kind of a long shot for me to hit it, and I mean there's a lot of cards that are going to come on the turn or on the river that don't hit that gut shot, so he could easily then bet and possibly get additional value. I think this bet at any gut shot's not going to be calling at the turn. So I think he's kind of representing something fairly strong. I don't expect a gut shot to really be betting a whole lot. I mean, he could, and it's a lower frequency. I mean, we're at 40%, but I think right now with my check call, I think my range is representing an ace. So he bets. What should I do? I think we're giving up on our gut shot. I think we probably should give up with our gut shot. And then top pair, should we call with all of our top pair? I think top pair, we can probably give up on ace 2, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5, and then maybe call with the rest. The 2 pair that we just hit, I think, based on his sizing, I think I call with 2 pair, expecting to get another bet out of him on the river. I don't want to raise here and then him 3-bet us, because I probably would have to dump that 2 pair. So we'll go with that. I'm definitely heavy on top pair. 6 of hearts hits. That could potentially save us if we are outkicked by like ace jack. But I think here We're going to check, and villain 3 bets, and this time he bets a little bit smaller. I think here this could be tricky, but he's going to be heavy on top pair. He's got showdown value hand, so I don't expect like ace 2 to ace 5 to be betting here. I think some of these good 2 pairs are going to be betting. They're hoping that I'm going to call. I think now when we look at it, I have to be good about 19% of the time. I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to be good that high. I mean, he would have had to have a real aggressive line with the draw. So 3 barrels and fairly large bets following up with the smaller bet. So I think I'm going to be behind here. I think I probably should have folded and possibly even folded the turn. But I didn't. I called. I think I estimated or kind of assumed that he could possibly be leading with all the weaker aces, and I just working through this hand, I don't see that right now. So he shows ace queen 2 pair. Shows 2 pair. I lose. Is that in his range? Yeah, it is ace queen. And it's offsuit ace queen, so definitely have that in his range. Do I think we should have 3-bet pre-flop? No, it's an option. I think if we 3-bet, he calls. We're still getting into this trouble because we would bet, and if he raises, we probably would have to fold it at that point. So maybe we save ourselves some money. Maybe we don't. But as played, I think the flop call is fine. I think the turn call is questionable. And then along with that river bet, I think river we should have just folded. I don't think, based on his sizing, I don't think we're going to be good that much at all. I think that size down, by betting down was just to get me to call. So, all right, hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, look tomorrow for another.